YouTube, what's cracking? So we are on video number 4. I have to thank everybody for hanging in with me. Those that have watched from day 1 on until today, again, just appreciate you being here. We got 10 more days to go, people. But for today's video, you see from the title, I'm going to share how I gave my life to Christ. Grew up going to church, but I didn't grow up in like a super spiritual household. So you know how sometimes people, they can't listen to explicit lyrics, they can't watch rated R movies. Like, yeah, that was not the household I grew up in. I did go to church on Sundays with my mom, but it was one of those churches where we weren't being fed. Like I said, I grew up, born and raised in Stamford, Connecticut. But my mom lived in New Rochelle, New York prior to living in Connecticut. And she was a member of a church there. And it was like this dynamic pastor, preached the house down every Sunday, yada, yada, yada. But he ends up leaving the church. And naturally, they voted in a new pastor. Well, the new pastor they voted in, sorry to say, just was not it. So membership started dwindling. And again, we're going every Sunday, but not being fed. She didn't want to leave because of ministry she was a part of, friends that she had at the church. I would go on Sundays, but it's not like I'm really being fed. It wasn't until I would go to her home church when we would visit North Carolina that I feel something like when they would have an altar call at the end of the pastor preaching where it was like, maybe I should go up there. But I never knew that when you felt the tug or the pull on your heart, like that was the Lord knocking on your heart that he wants you, right? Now, that's important because I feel like if you don't grow up in the church or you never heard that, then again, you don't know that's the Lord letting you know he's calling you. But I've heard some pastors say it, but not a lot. Fast forward, I always used to say, when the Lord wants me, he will tell me and have somebody be like, Nicole, it is time. So that's just what I used to say. Other than that, if that didn't happen, I wasn't going up to join, wasn't giving my life to Christ. Not to be disobedient, but that's just, it was like, okay, God hears all things, God knows all things. This is what I need to happen for me to give my life to Christ, right? My cousin is the president of the gospel choir. He invites me to their fall concert. And this is, again, my freshman year. My now best friend, she goes with me because remember the friend I told you I met my freshman year of college. The end of the service, and you know how you're like standing up and you hold hands with everyone across the aisle? Well, I'm holding the hands of his fiance at the time. The Lord tells her something. Instead of her telling me, she tells him. But then he tells her, because the Lord told you, you need to tell her. He's walking up to whoever is about to pray us out and telling them to hold off. She then looks at me and she's like, Nicole, the Lord said it's time and he's been calling you for some time. So immediately I start busting out crying, boo-hooing, because I know that is what I specifically prayed about. So it happened. I gave my life to Christ. It was October 21st, and they call it your spiritual birthday, the day you give your life to Christ. And so that is my story. Now, fast forward, one of my spiritual gifts is I'm an evangelist, right? So we're going to talk about Jesus no matter who wants to hear it, who don't want to hear it, whatever setting, like it is what it is, okay? If you're around me for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, you will know very quickly who team I'm on, okay? And so the minister of the church I was a part of that was over the evangelism ministry, he was like, you know, former drug dealer, had did time in jail. The minister, the co-minister that used to do it with him, she basically used to hear stuff, hear voices when she would be in her house. So basically the devil was tormenting her. And I used to feel like, well, I don't have those kind of testimonies. Can I be effective? So that's something I dealt with. But literally, she helped me see, like, the Lord answered your prayer. So that's your story. That's your testimony. It's like, you don't have to have the God saved me from yada, yada, yada to be effective. We all have our stories. We all have our testimonies. As the word says, you overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimonies. And then again, since I did share my story of how I came to give my life to Christ, Romans 10:9 lets us know that if you confess the Lord Jesus with your mouth and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. Okay? So come on and get on the winning team, guys, because there's a lot going on in the world today, and you might as well just come on over because we going to the upper room years ahead, okay? Because I'm praying to live a while. But when I do go, it's that time. We going to see the King, okay? King Jesus, no other king. Y'all know I'm silly. So again, that is my story on how I gave my life to Christ. No regrets. Peace.